Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Monday, November 25th, 2024. And the top story on this day is that, predictably, Jack Smith has dropped all federal cases against Donald Trump. We were anticipating this to be the case with him becoming president. And it's by a very familiar pattern. And we've already talked about this pattern with the ongoing legal matters surrounding Trump and prosecutor Jack Smith. It's something we've touched on many a times. So let's look at why they waited until the 25th of November to present this news regarding the returning president, Donald Trump. And again, just how perfect the ritual is. These perfect rituals that go right over almost everyone's heads. First of all, it's the 25th of the month, and Trump will be returning to office in 2025, the year of the snake. And of course, Trump's told that story about, you knew I was a snake, but you let me in. He's told that story so many times. We've been talking about all the reasons for all the years that Donald Trump would return as the nation's second split-term president, tribute to Grover Cleveland, why he would take office with the 119th Congress, kind of like how the election was called for him on 11/9 back in 2016, and where all these things fit in, from his snake poem to, again, Cleveland, to tarot cards, which the top cards are Trump cards, and there's 78 cards in the deck, like how he's 78 years old. But yes, here we are on the 25th of the month. 78-year-old Trump trumps the legal cases. And notice that from today's news to Trump's upcoming birthday in 2025 is 201 days. And remember, we're talking about the guy whose ex-wife fell down the stairs and died the exact same day he said he'd run in the upcoming election, which was the 60th election. And that was exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuitic nation year. But if you're new here, 201, so big with the Jesuit rituals. Trump then buried his ex-wife on the 201st day of the year. It goes with the history of Joe Biden, also Jesuit educated like Trump, losing his wife and daughter in 72 days after he became senator-elect in a 201 ritual. And it also goes with his son, Beau Biden, dying 201 days from the first Jesuit Pope's birthday, the first Jesuit Pope and the first to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, and the same Jesuit priest doing Beau Biden's funeral at age 46, along with Joe Biden's inauguration at age 46, when Inauguration Day is in the Jesuit stronghold, not the original capital of this nation, but where it was moved to, where the Jesuits set up camp, just like how Inauguration Day was moved. That's crazy. It's 201 right here, and somebody just rang the doorbell at 201. That's too weird. I'll be right back. Sit tight. That is too weird of timing. Okay, surprise visitor. I'm gonna accelerate this because we had a friend come over, and I wasn't anticipating that, but weird timing because it literally was 201 out here on the West Coast when the doorbell ring. Anyhow, again, this 201 thing with the Jesuits goes all the way back to their original history, where they were created 201 months after Martin Luther penning the 95 Theses. And if you're new here, you don't know the list, but if you've been around, I talk about this almost every single day, 1,000 times a day. Anyhow, Jack Smith, his birth name is John Lumen Smith, which is 201. And his middle name is really interesting, Lumen, the root word of illuminate, and similar to the Illuminati, which was founded by a Jesuit, Adam Weishaupt, who died in history 201 days after the anniversary of the order's establishment. And the funny thing about Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Illuminati's death date, is it's the same day in history, November 18th, which just passed, that Jack Smith, aka John Lumen Smith, was appointed to oversee these legal matters regarding Trump. And we've been talking about that since November 18th, 2022. But again, Trump's 78 years old right now. Linked up with that other Jesuit puppet, Elon Musk, who was declared the world's richest man for the first time ever on the 78th anniversary of the death of Nikola Tesla. But notice, with regards to those Jesuits, today also leaves 36 days left in the year. If you know the Jesuit order's logo, it's the sun with the letters IHS inside. And Jack Smith's got that June 5th birthday. We'll come back to that. But yes, the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt did find the Order of Illuminati, which is another 201. And he did find it on May 1st, or founded it May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. He died, Adam Weishaupt did, November 18th, 1830. Again, this is the man who lost his parents at a young age and was raised by a Jesuit priest, Jesuit trained. But yes, it was a 201 ritual when he passed, and it's similar to Israel. State of Israel equals 201. David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister, died 201 days after the anniversary of Israel's establishment. And notice also, just when you do a Google search, remember Sundar Pichai equals 201. Google celebrates its same birthday as the anniversary of the Jesuits being recognized by Rome. That's a whole other subject, but Google search, if you search Illuminati, it'll show you related things. The Order of Assassins, which is another 201. Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones in the Francis Bacon cipher, which includes capital letters, is also 201. And you might recall Paul Walker, who was in the movie The Skulls about Skull and Bones. That movie came out 201 days after his birthday, right before George W. Bush was elected president, who was a member of Skull and Bones. And you might recall that Paul Walker died 5 years to the day of George Herbert Walker Bush, who was also in Skull and Bones. But the point is, all these orders have the 201 connection. And then the Templars, there is a 201 connection with the Templars, but I'm not remembering off the top. Of course, the Templar cross is in the middle of the Jesuit order's logo. And if you're new here, the four base ciphers of the English language, the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, both orders with numerology. You can see how Order of Illuminati also has the 105 connection. From Jack Smith being appointed to this council to him dropping all cases today is 105 weeks later as well. So you have the 201 and the 105 going on. And again, you study these numbers, you'll see how these rituals and numbers come together literally all the time, as we've been documenting day after day for years. Also noteworthy, from Trump's last birthday to today is the 165th day of Trump's age. Trump's birthday is the 165th day of the year. Scottish Rite equates to 165. Again, the rites of the Scottish Rite were written by Jesuit priests. You can see the overlap with Scottish Rite and Donald Trump in terms of gematria and his date of birth. You can also see the 165 in Cleveland. They keep paying tribute to Trump, the latest Grover Cleveland, meaning split-term president. And don't forget, at the beginning of Grover Cleveland's second term, there was a massive economic collapse. So will history repeat itself in that regard as well? Again, it's 132 years since Grover Cleveland took his second term. Like there's 132 rooms in the White House, like how United States of America equals 132, like Roman Catholic equals 132, like Catholic Church equals 132. Again, the Illuminati was founded by a Jesuit. The Jesuit serves the Catholic Church. From the founding of the Illuminati, May 1st, 1776, to the naming of this country, September 9th, was a span of 132 days. These numbers are not arbitrary. They're things we've been talking about for years, why this should happen just as it is happening. History does repeat itself because people do not know history nor who's controlling it. George Orwell's 1984 paid tribute to this. Those who control the present control the past. So, with regards to Trump's birthday, you can see that June 14th leaves 200 days remaining in the year. That's true. That also means that June 14th is the first of the last 201 days of the year, because there's 200 days that come after June 14th. So if you count June 14th through December 31st, those are the last 201 days of the year. And then just regards to John Lumen Smith, I mean, you can just compare his name in the four base ciphers. It's the exact same as the Jesuit order, forwards and backwards. John Lumen Smith, 60 when you apply numerology. Donald Trump equals 60. This was the 60th U.S. presidential election. Again, what happened to Trump's ex-wife? Exactly 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. If you look up the Jesuit history, you'll see after they were recognized by the Roman Catholic Church, September 27th, 1540, for their first decade, their order was limited to 60 members. His name does also have the 75, like Catholic Church, like Roman Catholic, like New World Order. Again, his name has all of the numbers. And you can also see that today's his 174th day of his age. Also goes with New World Order. His name has two of the ciphers of New World Order and his alignment. Somehow, some way, when you search New World Order on Google, it comes up that it's a conspiracy theory. It's like, well, that's weird, because I guess that's perfect validation that conspiracy theories are real things, since former presidents have mentioned this New World Order many a times, including George Herbert Walker Bush, who spoke specifically about the New World Order and a world freer of terror exactly 11 years to the day of 9/11, when his son was the president and the World Trade Center came down, two towers turned into zero before they became one. But today is also 56 days before Inauguration Day, which is the 201st day of the nation's age, which is written 20/1. And if you look up what the name of that day is on the US government website, you'll see that it says Inauguration of the President of the United States, which equals 201. But look, it's 56 days before, right? And again, 56, just another one of these special numbers. Society of Jesus in Washington, D.C., both 56. The pandemic had a gazillion 56 rituals, including Trump declaring the nation's emergency on Friday the 13th, 2020, a date with 56 numerology, 56 years after his Jesuit education began at Fordham. And then his Jesuit partner down in California, Slick Willie, Gavin Newsom, whose name equals 56. He said 56% of you will get the virus in 8 weeks, which of course is 56 days. First governor to lock down his state. Then we were over in New York with Cuomo, the 56th governor of the state, who also went to Fordham like Trump, and a million other things. I mean, both of Trump's impeachments were exactly 56 weeks apart, all part of the divisive political theater to polarize the nation. But yeah, the exact same things over and over again. And something I do also want to cover is at the end of yesterday's stream, the woman Moxie came on and talked the typical mainstream stuff about 9/11 and blah. She's going along with the official narrative of 9/11. She sent an email, and it was all the stereotypical stuff that you would imagine, mainstream sources saying that there was nothing peculiar about that day. She still hasn't done any independent research into things I asked her to. I'm going to play this without sound. I'm going to zoom this in right here. I'm going to zoom this in. I just want to remind you of this footage right here. This is the original footage of the first ever time a plane was shown flying into the towers. I'm going to slow it down to half speed. I'm going to do a longer stream on this, but remember, two towers became zero before they became one. One of a gazillion 201 rituals right on our heads to unknowing masses who don't recognize the symbolism. Again, signs and symbols rule the world, and if you're not aware of them, you don't know what's going on. But again, this is the footage, and I'd recommend anybody who's unfamiliar with this, watch the film September Clues. September Clues. It really goes into this footage big time from a guy who does special effects for Hollywood. But watch how the original footage shows the plane fly all the way through the building and come out the other side. Completely impossible, not to mention there wasn't a hole on the other side of the building. So that's how you know the original footage of a plane hitting the towers was fake. And again, there's the illuminated, the people in the know, and then there's everybody else being kept in the dark and being mocked. And 9/11 was major mockery, a national emergency on 911 when most people don't have a clue that 911 was made the emergency dialing code in the same year that World Trade Center construction began in New York, the same year that George W. Bush graduated from Yale, Skull and Bones, another 201 order. But yeah, check this out. Half speech is this is going to rewind. We're going to get another look at this here, unless I'm already too far ahead in the video. Hold on, I might have been too far ahead. Here we go. Here we go. Watch this plane go through and come out the other side. Oh, look at that. Look at it come out the other side. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then it cuts to black because they know they screwed up. There it is. Out the other side. Oh, cut to black. Oh, we're back. don't forget, they simulated the US federal government simulated Operation Amalgam Virgo, June 1st, 2001. That was 102 days before 9/11, like Al Qaeda equals 102, like Art of War, the Jesuit text equals 102. But they simulated that Al Qaeda would attack the US with cruise missiles. And again, I mean, this is impossible right here. It comes out the other end. There's no hole over there. Um, Again, you guys, major lies every day by a ritualistic code. Nothing but theater to control your mind and shape agendas and narratives and essentially create a conveyor belt for everybody to just flow down. Okay, yeah, we'll go into another war. Okay, we'll go along with another rig selection. But yeah, just the 201 code constant. And don't forget, they made Trump a part of that day. And if you can find the footage of Trump on 9/11, he specifically says that he's worried about his insurance firm on floor 102. Reflection of 201. Again, art of war equals 102. Jesuit text published in 1773 by Father Amiot, just before this nation was created, the nation that's always been at war ever since. And again, just all these related orders too. Order of Assassins, oh, that has to do with killing. Skull and Bones, they get their symbolism from how the Templars bury their dead. Templars waged the Crusades. And I want to talk a lot more about this. If you guys aren't on my website, I put up another post this morning to go deeper into this and what happened in 1945 with the Empire State Building getting hit by the bomber plane near the end of the war on the 149th day of the Pope's age, when they said the plane crashed directly into the Catholic War Relief Office. And again, 149 is the 35th prime, and that was on the 209th day of the year, and it was in 45 days before 9/11, and it was also the day leaving 156 days left in the year when 9/11 is the 156th prime. And consider this was the same historical period where the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers series was being published. Again, these things are planned long in advance. Of course, Lord of the Rings was a huge Hollywood series at the time of 9/11. But yeah, we'll go into all this in much greater detail, including how perfectly coordinated it was with Rudy Giuliani, the 107th mayor, on the 107th day of his age before the invasion on 10/7. And a good little Catholic educated guy was he. But yeah, again, you learn this little Kabbalistic code that these people are into. And for the gas station attendant out there, stop just regurgitating your lies every day and respond to the facts. You keep saying the Jesuits have nothing to do with Kabbalah. The founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, whose name equals 201, like Jewish mysticism, he was part of the Alumbrado, a Kabbalistic order that was the precursor to the Illuminati. So, again, if you're denying what we're showing, you're just lying to yourself. And again, here's where Rudy Giuliani went to school. Bishop Laughlin Memorial High School, located at 357 Claremont Avenue. There's so many Catholic schools like this. If you just look into their address, you'd be like, wow, the school name equals the address. Another Catholic school that equals the address. So yeah, there's ample evidence everywhere of who's using this code. And again, the Catholic Church gave us the calendar and the language as we know it. Starting crusades on the day leaving 85 days left in the year. Templar, Jesus Hominum Salvator, that's the Jesuit motto. I mean, anyway, we're gonna go back and watch the footage of 9/11, of things that a lot of people have never seen before, and we're also going to address Moxie, the link she sent over. She sent over this Indian engineers website. Literally, the name of the name of the channel, literally in Gematria, translates to World Trade Center, which translates to 185, like how the towers came down 185 days after Osama bin Laden's birthday. But it's just garbage information. Nowhere in there does it mention how jet fuel can't melt steel beams. The only three towers to ever collapse from steel frame towers to collapse from a fire all collapsed on 9/11. Which tell you all you need to know right there. His video on the collapse of Building 7. No mention that the BBC mentioned 30 minutes before it fell that it had already collapsed. I mean, how's that happen? There was no sign the building was going to collapse. The BBC reports 30 minutes before it collapsed that it surprisingly collapsed. And then 30 minutes later, it surprisingly collapses. I mean, can't, not to mention it was called the Solomon Brothers building. And of course, Solomon's temple has the two pillars, Boaz and Joachim. But anyway, we'll do all that later. We got a guest here and I do need to hop off and attend to that. Well, that's 201 months after they took office and the day before Thanksgiving, which has a lot to do with the Indians. So, yeah, I will talk about it more. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now. And again, thank everyone who's liking the share. And until next time.